Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Gunn Show presented by MTDCNC. For those of you who are joining us for the whatever amount of time we're on right now, 30, 40, 50 episodes, we really appreciate you coming back and joining us again. For those of you here for the first time, I will quickly go over what the Gunn Show is about. There are a lot of podcasts out there all over the world on any subject you want to talk about or listen to. In the manufacturing engineering world that we are in here at the Gunn Show, most of those podcasts are very technical. They're enlightening. They're quite intelligent. Don't get me wrong. I like listening to them as well. There's some great podcasts out there, but this one in particular, the Gunn Show, it's not about weapons. I don't have any of those. It's not about muscles. I don't really have any of those. So Gunn actually refers to my last name, and we are focused on humanizing the industry. So we get out there. We're looking at really cool parts or really great machines, and even when we go to trade shows, the first thing we do is we talk about how can you help me, what have you done for me lately, and it's what kind of machines do you have, what's the new technology, teach me about that. But we never really talk about the humans that are out there supporting us. What did the humans go through? How did they get where they are? Was it a dream they always wanted? Was it a misfit that fell into the organization somehow? Whatever it might be, we want to humanize the people who are making these cars and these medical devices and these airplanes and these phones and darn near everything that's around us. The chair I'm sitting on, the phone I'm talking right now on, creating this podcast. So we really want to humanize this industry. And as a part of that, I have the great pleasure today to spend time with a good friend of mine, Caitlin, who is the marketing manager at KRC Machine Tool Solutions. So Caitlin, thank you so much for joining me on the Gunn Show. This is the Gunn Show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So you and I met in beautiful Kentucky around about the time the Derby was happening. And I didn't have the pleasure to go see the Derby at that time, but I promise you I will. There was an invite, and I'm very grateful for that. And we'll talk a little bit about what KRC does across the nation, the growth, the history. But I'd like to start with you. I'd like to start with how you got into the industry. I know at KRC, you didn't start in marketing. You were in sales for a while, and there's so many brilliant engineers at your company as well. But I'd like to start with you as far back as you'd like to go, either in diapers or a young adult or a teenager. Or
So I have no idea how I really ended up in marketing or manufacturing. It just kind of fell into my lap. In college, I got my business degree with a concentration in marketing, and during my marketing classes, sales was one area where I just kind of felt like it hit close to home and to something that maybe I saw myself doing in the future. And right out of college, I got a job as a recruiter for a company that focused on recruiting engineers for different manufacturing companies around the Louisville, Kentucky area, which is where I'm from. And one of the companies that we did recruiting for was a company called Flow Aerospace. And they made large water jet cutting machines for the aerospace industry. And so I was looking for engineers to controls engineers specifically for the building of those machines. So this was way beyond anything I had ever expected I would be getting myself into. So I remember going to Flow Aerospace for the first time to kind of understand exactly what these machines were and how in the world I was going to find somebody who knew anything about these machines. And it was fascinating. I mean, honestly, I never saw myself in manufacturing or this field. And when I saw these machines and what they were capable of, I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. Like you never, when you think about manufacturing, you don't think about the cool things that are honestly happening behind the scenes, right? So from there, I somehow got into a conversation with the president of our company about my background with Flow, and little did I know that it was actually a company that KRC did a lot of service for. And so we got to talking, and one thing led to another, and he was like, you know what? I know you probably don't know anything about how to sell our business and our services, but I can make you dangerous enough to speak to it. And then we got all the support and the knowledge from the people who work for us to help you out. And I want you to come and do sales for me and help out with our recruiting as well. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So that was almost 10 years ago. And here I am. I've kind of worn a ton of different hats in my 10 years here at KRC. I started in sales, doing some of our selling in our service division, so small repairs on machine tools, CNC equipment, and got into the rebuild and retrofit side of our business, where I sold different rebuild and retrofit projects. We integrate CNC controls into existing machines, older machines, and we can also do full turnkey remanufacturers on those different machines as well. And then I got married, I got pregnant, and sales and traveling just wasn't in the cards for me anymore. And the great thing about a small business is that you know, they appreciate you and your skill set and what you can do. And so with my marketing background, we were going in a direction with KRC where we were getting into a bunch of new and exciting areas and solutions, one being building our own machine tools. And so I said, you know what if we had a full-time marketing person, which we never had, and I could be that person because that's my background. And I love marketing and I love the creative mind behind it. And I just saw a lot of different areas and opportunities where I felt KRC could go in a new direction, and I had a vision for it. And it took a little bit of waiting, but finally they were like, you know what, let's do it. And so that was, oh gosh, like 4 years ago. So I've been the marketing manager at KRC for 4 years, and you know, it's exciting being in this business and manufacturing, although not exactly what I expected my career path to look like. Here I am, and it's been wonderful.
Well, you got a degree in marketing from the University of Louisville.
Yep.
Straight away. Like, this isn't
Yeah.
a secondary degree. Like, you knew that you wanted to get into marketing, and then
Yeah.
as I follow your journey, you
Yeah.
go into a recruiter and then into sales. And let's not just skip over that sales history. That was 5, almost 6 years of sales.
Yep.
What was that like for you?
Oh, it was great. You know, one cool thing about KRC is that we support customers all across the United States. And since we are a small business, there were 2 of us that did sales. And so we basically split the United States in half, and one of us had one half and the other one had the other half. So we traveled all over the place. And I have been in some of the coolest manufacturing facilities. I've been in SpaceX. I've been in several Boeing facilities. I've been in several of their suppliers, and you know, seen a lot of really cool things. I've been at in United Launch Alliance. So to see some of these things up close and personal just gives you a whole new perspective in this industry, a whole new appreciation for it, and for the engineers and the geniuses that come up with these designs and these machines and space shuttles and everything else that I've seen and been around. So, you know, and what's cool is that we get to build the equipment that builds that equipment. So it's just, it's really cool to see that. And I have so many different funny stories about me walking into a facility and saying, you know, I'm here to look at your machine. And the person walks out and they're like, come again? Like, you're here with who? I'm like, I'm Caitlin from KRC. I'm here to take a look at your machine. Not to work on it, but I can maybe tell you what direction we need to go on as far as rebuild or retrofitting it. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, if you say so, you know, and an hour into the conversation, they're like, oh, okay, you actually do know what you're talking about. So, you know, there's a bias there that I obviously had to overcome. I think with women in manufacturing, that's probably something we've all dealt with in the past. You see a girl walk in with blonde hair and makeup on, and they're like, not really sure what you're doing here to help me, but let's figure it out. It's fun, and it's been a way for me to develop great relationships along the way. And really, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? Developing those relationships and what you like to say, humanizing the brand. And that's really why I've always been so passionate about marketing, is I love the idea behind humanizing a brand. And so it's been fun, my path within KRC, that I've, got to kind of start in sales and develop those relationships and kind of see a path forward for KRC and a vision. And here I've been able to bring it to life. And we rebranded when I became marketing manager. And so it's been really fun and exciting.
Well, if I may, the first time I met you, you gave me a tour of KRC, and I knew immediately that you were no dummy. So we can go ahead and throw that out there right now.
Well, thank you.
but the assumption does happen, and even sometimes, I mean, I don't have the long blonde hair, but I've walked into machine shops looking younger than my years would say that I've had the experience to do, and they'll look at me and go, "Well, this kid's not going to be able to help me with anything.
Right,
I've been doing this for 40 years. How's this kid's gonna help?" So I can sympathize with this situation without completely being able to empathize, right? So, but I understand what you mean by that, and I totally get it. But my question, I guess, now becomes, did you feel dangerous? You said your boss was going to give you enough information to make you feel dangerous, right?
I did, they had to give me the information, and I had to take it and learn it and run with it. And I definitely did. And I think my customers and my relationships that I had in my time with sales, they would probably agree.
So now we've moved into marketing. At long last, we've moved into marketing.
Yeah.
And based on you going to school for marketing, how much of it have you been able to apply to manufacturing and engineering that you learned from school versus actually being a part of it and actually going through sales first? 100%, 50%? Is it a real learning curve? How do you feel about that whole transition?
Yeah, I think it's a great transition. Being able to be on the sales side of it gives you a new perspective and a different type of perspective. And I was able to take a lot of what I knew from that and apply it to a lot of the things that we've done from a marketing standpoint since then. You want to be able to understand the customer mind and what they need in order to, make that happen within your company, and, how you brand yourself, how you market yourself. If you don't understand that idea and what the customer needs and their wants, then you're never going to be the brand that is going to stand out or be the top of the mind whenever people think of machine tool solutions. Who are they going to think of? And our goal is to make sure that they're always thinking KRC when they've got a machine that's down and it needs fixed, or they have a machine that's old and worn out and they need somebody to come in and update it with a new control system or new mechanical conditioning. Who comes to the top of their mind? Hopefully it's KRC. So I was able to take what I learned through sales and, the customers, their issues and their needs whenever it came to machine tools, what it was that was affecting them, and look at it from a marketing perspective and how can we apply that to KRC and how people perceive us and what we look like from the outside. I saw a need when I first took over for rebranding. We have, I think in this industry, change is always hard. People kind of get comfortable in what they've always known, and so it took a little bit of persuading to come out with a new rebrand and a new logo and a new look, because we had been in business for 30 years and had the same look for 30 years. And when we were going to start building our own machines, I thought, we need an exciting new look. We need something that's flashy, that's going to catch the eye of our customer. And so I was finally able to get the support and the backing, and we rebranded. We came out with a new logo, and now it's really fun to design the machines and figure out how to get those, to look nice and flashy when a customer walks into a facility and sees a KRC machine. It's going to catch their eye, and they're going to like, oh wow, KRC's building machines now too. So it's been a lot of fun. It's it allowed me to kind of get creative and use my creative abilities to do some of this stuff. So that's where we're at.
I like it. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out, and I think I know this answer, but I'm always curious for someone like yourself who has a degree in marketing, because I sure don't. I just like, people, really, people in general. I love to talk to them, learn from them, apply that to, social platforms and growth and awareness and all that kind of fun stuff. But if you would have gone, let's say the time frame is the same, 10 years from start to finish at KRC, right? But if you'd have gone straight from Louisville with your degree into marketing, do you find that you would have been as valuable at your position in marketing as you are now, going through the sales aspect of it and traveling around the country and visiting with those end users as you get to bring to the table now? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't know that it's necessarily I would or wouldn't be, but I do think the sales brings a whole new perspective. You're able to be in front of the customer, you're able to talk to the customer, get inside their head a little bit more, and understand what their what is really causing them to need your help. So I think that sales is I don't know if you're asking, would it be a good option or a good career path to go through sales and then get into marketing? I don't know that there's a right answer or a wrong answer, but for me and my experience, the sales has definitely helped fuel my marketing abilities and some of the things that I see and do surrounding the marketing plans and ideas for KRC.
I guess I asked that question because we see, certainly I do see a lot of people out there marketing, and general marketing works fantastic for a lot of industries. If we're talking, fashion and automobile and sports and kind of things like that, right? But I've always felt like marketing and manufacturing is a bit unique in a sense. We have engineers that are introverted. We have to connect somehow the engineers to the sales guys to the marketing to the ownership. How do we justify the budget for all of it? Because a lot of people see the marketing benefits in something like fashion. It's almost directly related, whereas it's not so directly related in the industry we're in. So the reason for that question was just basically because there's a lot of marketing out there in our industry that's general marketing based on principles that come from schooling of some sort without actually knowing the industry itself, right? And then you have that knowing the industry. Once we grasp the idea of how the industry works and then apply the great wisdom we have from school and apply that in combination with what we've learned from the industry to kind of create a symbiotic relationship of marketing between the two, that's when I find that there's really powerful opportunities to transcend the information that we're trying to offer to the industry as a whole.
Yeah, I think there is definitely uniqueness to marketing and manufacturing. It's not just black or white. There's a lot of different ways to approach it. And like you said, a lot of introverted people, what are they going to do? How are they going to get their knowledge? And I would say most of them are going to turn to the internet, right? They're going to want to watch videos, they're going to want to Google, and they're going to want to read. A lot of engineers, they want to read, they want to be able to see technical papers and understand how things work. And so from that perspective, one thing that we have noticed, or one thing that we've really invested heavily in, and especially since I've taken over and been able to do this more on a full-time basis, is our website. Having a good website is, I think, one of the number one things that you can do in manufacturing to market yourselves. Have a great website, have a lot of information, have videos, have, you know, it needs to be interactive, it needs to be user friendly. You know, if somebody lands on your website and the little menu at the top is frustrating and they can't like toggle and get to where they want to go, what are they going to do? They're going to hit back, and they're going to find the next person in line on the Google search page, and they're going to go to them instead. So just little things like that, the little detail things that people may not think about, that could frustrate a user. You know, when you go to a website and it's frustrating, it's confusing, you can't figure out how to navigate it, what are you going to do? You're not going to stay on that page. So one thing, yeah, that's an area that we've really invested heavily in is our website, and making sure that it's got, you know, not just, you know, straight content about our services and what you can find from KRC, but it's got educational content. It's helping customers answer their questions, and it's helping them understand. So I think that a great website can be your number one salesperson, right? And it's going to be working for you 24/7. You're never going to have to turn it off. So the leads and the opportunities that we get through our website inquiries have been phenomenal since we put a lot of focus in that area.
I think you're spot on. I really do. The modern day people are going to Google. Google's going to pull up LinkedIn or YouTube. They're going to take a look at a video. They're going to get inspired by the video. They're going to go to the website. If the website has those technical papers you were just talking about, and the website's professional and user friendly, you pretty much close the deal. Absolutely. At least to have a solid conversation, right? Because that's kind of how it all interacts. You know, that's the reason why MTD gets all the credit they get, is generate awareness and excitement on these really cool video testimonials, and then they go to your website and go, oh my gosh, that's what they were just talking about, was all this technical data. Thank goodness this website is set out in place. Then you get that phone call. I really, honestly, totally agree with you, Caitlin, 100%. So based on that, let's talk a little bit about KRC, what you guys do. Because I mean, to be fair, if I said, hey, what does KRC do? Somebody is going to tell me about these giant machines you make. Somebody else is going to tell me about you supporting them with an entire labor force. Somebody else is going to tell you about the rebuilds of the machine. And it's like this big elephant where you're in a dark room and everyone's describing a part of KRC. And well, that's not the part I know. You know, it's the tail and the trunk and the ear. Right. And there's really a whole smorgasbord of stuff when it comes to KRC. So with that being said, good luck on putting that all on one platter and describing what you do.
How much time do we have, right?
Exactly.
That's KRC. So, you know, what we are, and what I would say is that we are a complete machine tool solutions provider. So when you think of a machine tool and any and every aspect of it, you know, from my machine tool is down, I need it serviced, who can I call? KRC. My machine tool is outdated, the controls aren't working, we can't get aligned anymore, what's going on? Who do I call? What can we do? KRC. What can we do? We can come in and we can retrofit it, put a brand new control system in it, Fanuc or Siemens. Or if it's mechanically outdated and it needs a complete overhaul, we can rebuild it from a mechanical standpoint. And then what if it's just, it's gone, there's no more bringing any more life to this machine, I need a new one, who can we call? We can call KRC now. So, you know, what we have grown into over our 30 years in business is we started as a machine tool service company where we did and still do nationwide machine tool service and provide on-site repairs, preventative maintenance, laser calibrations on a wide variety of CNC machine tools, machining centers, horizontal boring mills, vertical turning, pretty much any and all brands we can service. We've got a nationwide field service team. What we can also do is a complete CNC retrofit or rebuild, put them together. We call it a remanufacture of a machine. You know, you take an old machine that's still great iron, heavy duty. You don't want to have to build a new foundation, get new tooling, and all of that associated costs that comes with a new machine. We can rebuild it, retrofit it, and give you 10 to 15 more years of life in that machine tool. And then recently, we've started building our own machines, custom type machines. One that we are just really proud of is what we call our Fusion series. It's a hybrid gantry machine, and it allows you to basically have a multi-purpose machine. You can have a dual mast on it where you're doing additive manufacturing and subtractive manufacturing at the same time, kind of able to take an idea of configurable machine and put it all on the same thing, all in the same work center. So that's our Fusion series. We can put a water jet head on it with a router. We can put a water jet head on it with an ultrasonic knife. So we're really excited about the technology behind that and the different capabilities that brings to the marketplace, because it's really truly unique and one of a kind. And then we also have our complete maintenance solutions division, which is allowing us to basically come in and help with your maintenance division, and basically provide maintenance across the board on all your machines. We can come on site full time and do preventative maintenance, machine repairs, and we're really excited about that new division of our business. We've got a site that right now we basically maintain over 100 pieces of equipment on for an aerospace company, where we have about 30 full-time employees at their facility and we basically provide all of their maintenance support. So yeah, that's KRC in a very long nutshell, I guess. We can truly provide just about any and all solution when it comes to a machine tool.
I mean, it sounds like that, and it sounds like a lot, to be fair, as well. But at the same time, you're going, well, I know a lot of spindle repair companies. I know a lot of people that make machines. But you kind of do not even a little bit of everything. You do a lot of everything. You really cater to the people out there. You either go to their facility, you have them ship it to you, whatever they need, you really cater to. It's that Southern hospitality in Kentucky,
right?
Isn't it?
Yeah, and a little side of bourbon as well. So
well, that's really cool. That's really cool. So I want to, just for my own understanding, just a little bit, because I have a curiosity in this one part I don't think I've asked you about before. You will do something as simple as a spindle repair on a machine, but also as complicated as the entire machine if it, caught on fire or something with electrical and everything, right?
Yep, and we have done that, yeah. So like I said, our field service team, we've got field service engineers that are located strategically across the United States, so we can get to our customers as soon as possible, because we know downtime is so important. It costs your business, and it causes you to not deliver on time to your customers. So we understand how critical that is. So we try to get there as fast as we can. And all of our service engineers are well versed in a wide variety of machine tools, electrical systems. So yeah, that is, like you said, as simple as just a machine that's down that needs quick repair, or some part changes, or laser calibration, or we can put a preventative maintenance plan and program together for you and show you how to do that as well. And then we can take a machine off your floor, bring it to our facility in Kentucky, and completely break it all down and build it back up. We can add customization to it. We've got a full engineering department, so it allows us to, add any additions, tooling additions, or any type of thing that would allow you to make a configuration of a machine to specifically fit, maybe a new part that you're trying to build on that machine. We've done that engineering configurations before. So yeah, we really do provide a wide variety of different options and ideas. And if you've got we've taken kind of a concept before that a customer has brought to us before on a type of machine that they thought would be best for the part that they needed to build that didn't quite fit on an off-the-shelf type of machine solution, and we collaborated with them and engineered a machine that specifically fit that process. So we've got several examples of custom machines that we've done in the past. So we are certainly open to lots of ideas and helping out our customers come up with creative solutions.
And who better to build your own machines than a whole bunch of geniuses that can repair just about any machine on the market, right? Like, why wouldn't they go that route?
And that's, we've seen all the different types of configurations out there. We know what works and what doesn't work. We've seen, great setups on a machine. We've seen things that are, kind of poorly built and don't work just right. And we can figure out, well, this is going to work a little bit better from our experiences. And, with that, we've been able to take that and start creating our own machines and build our own machines. So we're really excited about the direction that we're heading as far as in the future, and KRC Machines, our own, line of different, these hybrid gantries that we've been building. So we're really excited about the technology and where we're going with that.
I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you. I love when people talk about the future and their plans and that kind of excitement. So I would like to pick your brain a little bit of advice, because you have kind of a full gambit of experience, growing up Kentucky, Louisville, marketing degree, heading into sales, recruiting first, then sales, then back to marketing, going into places, as you mentioned, like SpaceX and a whole bunch of other machine shops, and kind of have that perspective of women in manufacturing as well, which we touched on a little bit. So if it's okay with you to pick your brain a little bit, and for those of you listening who I would be shocked if everyone that tuned in didn't stay till the end. I'd be shocked if you tuned out. But for those of you who have stayed till the end, that value Caitlin's opinion and valuable wisdom, just like I do, I would love to just snag a little piece of advice, and you can focus that on whoever you'd like, wherever you'd like, just whatever little tidbit you'd like to offer us.
One of my favorite things that I hear and I kind of try to live my life by is be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think in this industry, it's really cool to be able to change and adapt and go into an area where maybe you're not so comfortable at first, and learn and figure it out and just see what comes from it. Because I don't think KRC would be where we are. I don't think I would be where I am right now if I wasn't comfortable with being uncomfortable. I took over a marketing position where, I had experience with my college degree, but I had never had a marketing role before. And they just said, here you go, let's see what you can do, figure it out. So it's obviously it's worked out and it's been wonderful. And, as far as the machines that KRC is building now, I know, it's an area where it's kind of like we had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable for a little while we figured out, the engineering behind it, the design, the technology, and now what we're creating and building. It's just really, really awesome, and it's exciting. And I think it's going to take us great places. And so, yeah, I would say that's some of the advice that I would give.
I truly, truly appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy person. As everyone knows, time is a commodity that we do not get back. And so I always like to express my gratitude for whenever anyone shares their time with me. So Caitlin, thank you so much. To all the listeners out there, This is Caitlin, KRC Machine Tools. If we haven't spoken enough about that already for you to remember it, we'll repeat it one more time. Caitlin, KRC Machine Tools. This is the Gunn Show presented by MTD. Caitlin, you are amazing. Keep up
Thank
the
you.
incredible work.
Thank you so much for having me.